On this episode,
It was a big, scary, two-letter disease, and nobody knew anything.
welcome to Road to Hope. I'm your host, Bianca Jade. Right now, I'm in Edmonton. It's a big city, and here you can be close to schools and hospitals. But let's say you live in a place like Fort McMurray, or maybe even a northern community like Anzac. There, it's difficult to get care when you're in need, so the people there are making a difference.
For Tammy Jackson, her life changed 25 years ago when she was diagnosed with a disease that is more prevalent in Canada than anywhere else in the world.
I was diagnosed with MS back in 1991. I had some vision issues while I was back in college, and then when I had gone on a vacation and I was having some other issues, and I went to see my doctor, and he finally said, well, we should look a little further into that. And they did some testing, and that's when they finally diagnosed me.
It's a perfect fit there.
It was scary because I didn't know anything about MS. It wasn't as, I wouldn't say common, it wasn't as, the information wasn't as available as it is now. You didn't know anybody who had it. It was just a mystery. All you heard was it was a big, scary, two-letter disease that nobody really knew anything about. They didn't know how it was going to affect you. They didn't know how your life was going to be impacted. Nobody knew anything.
Multiple sclerosis affects many parts of the human body, both physically and mentally. As you can see, Tammy's disability is primarily physical, impacting her life and the way she lives it.
It takes a lot longer to do things now than it used to. I used to be able to get up in the morning, jump out of bed, jump in the shower, get dressed, grab a cup of coffee, jump in my car, all within, let's say, 20 minutes. Now I've got to plan just 20 minutes to get out of the bed, get in the shower. And so things take a lot longer.
It's unknown as to how many individuals have been diagnosed with the disease here in the Wood Buffalo region. With the assistance of the MS Society of Fort McMurray, each month they get together in support of one another.
Yeah, she's been symptom-free for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little too skinny for my tastes, but so I'm sure that I'll be able to fit in a few more carbs than she does. So.
Krista Watts-Baker is an advocate currently sitting on the board of directors for the Alberta and Northwest Territories Division of MS, as well as facilitates the meetings each month. Having been diagnosed herself, her experience allows her to reach the clients on a more personal level.
You know, my interest is in client services and helping people who are affected by the disease, because I know how scared I was when I first found out about it, and I did a lot of research on my own in order to find out how I was actually going to approach managing the disease. But I like to help others so they don't have to go through some of the things that I did to get that understanding.
In order to assist individuals with the multifaceted disease, Krista had to keep in mind that no two people will experience MS alike. Perfect example would be Tammy and herself.
The way I think of it, it's the disease of many faces. So, you know, you met Tammy, who has difficulty walking and uses a walker. She has accessibility issues, and it's also a quite invisible disease. So when people meet me, they can't tell that I have MS, but you know, I experienced everything from severe pain, muscle spasms, to cognitive issues where I can't concentrate, or I have a horrible memory. And I tell Kate this all the time. My husband's my external hard drive. Without him, I wouldn't make it to appointments, or I'd never get anything done. So yeah, it is a very, very complex disease that can affect anything from your ability to walk to your bowel or your bladder. So it's kind of all over the place.
According to the Multiple Sclerosis Society, approximately 100,000 Canadians are living with this disease. A challenge for those diagnosed with the illness here in the Wood Buffalo region. Other than the MS Society of Fort McMurray, there is little to no support forcing individuals to travel south.
We don't have a neurologist in Fort McMurray, so every time that I have to go see my neurologist, I have to go to Edmonton to the MS clinic, and that's a huge burden for people financially who, this is an essential service that we need, and we don't have that.
Doctors is not just an Anzac-Fort McMurray issue, it's a Edmonton-Fort McMurray issue. I know Kate's working really hard to try and get some professionals up here so that we don't always have to travel to Edmonton to go for medical appointments.
There's so many people who go to Edmonton and Calgary who have neurologists there that I think it would warrant bringing them here at least once or twice a year to see their patients. And you know, not everybody can afford to go once or twice a year to Edmonton, you know, to fly or drive, whatever that might be. And for some people who have, you know, accessibility issues and very physical disabilities, it's quite hard for them to come from Fort McMurray and go all the way to Edmonton to see a neurologist. So I think we have a lot of work to do in that area, working with Alberta Health Services to help make sure that we get that essential service here in our northern areas.
Researchers are finding more about what causes MS each day, and while there are treatments and therapies for the disease, there is no cure, at least not as of yet. Something that is definitely on the minds of both Krista and Tammy.
You know what? Canada has been making some great strides in research, very positive. Of course, we all hope that there'll be a cure one day, and I really hope I'll see that within my lifetime for sure.
I read and I hear in the news that there are so many different things going on around the world trying to find what causes it and then trying to find how to treat it. There's a lot of exciting possibilities. The more I know, the more I have hope. I just wish we could get it done a little faster.
There are more people diagnosed with multiple sclerosis than anywhere else in the world, and the #1 province for most cases is Alberta. If you know someone that has MS and is in need, please follow the information on your screen. And if you're able to give back. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Bianca Jade.